Hello, my name is Andy and I am the Village Idiot. I'm armed with a car and a GoPro and an unhealthy amount of time on my hands, and let's see where we are today. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are here in Ulley. This is one of the smallest parishes in Rotherham with a population of 127. It's not got an extensive land area either, although what it does have, it makes full use of. We're going to see the main village, we're going to see a wind farm, and we're going to see a reservoir here. This is in S26. It falls under the Sheffield post town. Dialing code is 01709 for Rotherham. Let's go and explore. More public transport information. Apparently it's the number 20 bus you can catch in Ulley. I'm taking a walk along the main street through the village. Lots of these little stone walls on either side. Some very old looking cottages as well. Now you might think it's a little bit strange me taking a shot of number 5 Main Street, but as I'm sure the residents of Ulley will probably tell me, there's a story behind number 5 and number 7 Main Street. So the story behind number 5 and number 7 Main Street, as I understand it, and I'm sure the residents of the village will correct me if I'm wrong, in the Second World War I think there were 2 bombs, it might just be 1, but I think it's 2, that were unexploded at those properties, discovered unexploded, and the bomb squad didn't know what to do, seeing as they couldn't defuse them, so they retired to the pub to try and work out what to do. And while they were in the pub, they went off, obviously destroying number 5 and number 7 in the process. Now, if anyone wanted to know why I started doing this channel, if you just look at this gorgeous white house with the wooden windows on the right here, you wouldn't find this in a town. You always find this kind of property in villages. Here we find Holy Trinity Church. Now, it said on the notice board outside the church it's open, so I'm going to have a look inside if I can, because so far we haven't been able to get inside a church yet because of the pandemic. I don't have my mask on me at the moment, it's in the car, so if there's a sign telling me I need to put my mask on when I pass this later, I'll go in then. So let's have a look to see what the rules are inside Holy Trinity Church. There's nothing on the notice board. They even have a prayer tree here. This has obviously been here since Christmas. Let's see if we can get inside. No, it's locked. It's locked. That's a shame. I think it's fair to say that a lot of you are enjoying these churches. I mean, to me, churches don't really do much for me, but I know a lot of people do like them. This is a quaint little building, in fact. I have no idea how much we're going to actually see here, but seeing as we can't get into the church, we'll see if I can just put my camera through the window. Not a lot to see, to be honest. This is around the other side of it, around the back of the church. There's not a lot round here. There are some graves down here and a bit of barren waste ground. This is the perfect spot to start our usual grave walk. So let's go. No headstone on this one. Just like Ravenfield was, this is a very peaceful churchyard. All I can hear at the moment are some birds in these trees. Tiny bit of road noise, but nothing intrusive. In the middle of it all is this rather magnificent tree. Now, I'm not an expert on flora and fauna, so if anybody out there can tell me what kind of tree this is. I think it's a willow tree because it looks like a weeping willow, but I'm not an expert and I've probably got that completely wrong. And that tree towers over these older graves. So directly opposite the church is Ulley Village Hall. Let's go and have a look at the parish notice board. Let's see what's going on. I don't think it'll be open. Ah, this is nice. Obviously, as usual, I will include a parish map, but here on the notice board you can see they actually have a parish map, which is fantastic. Now, as you can see to the left there, not all of the reservoir falls within the parish boundaries. The Ulley Trail. That would be the path around the reservoir, one would imagine. This is on the wall of the churchyard. Ulley War Memorial. I wonder if any of those listed here have relatives living in the village. Okay. I am not an urban explorer and I don't want to walk too far into the grounds of this building, but it looks like it's abandoned. It certainly looks like it's abandoned. The windows seem to be smashed or boarded up from what I can tell. I have no idea what this house is, but it's number 25 Main Street, or at least I think it's 25 Main Street. There's a big 25 outside it on the wall. If anyone knows what this is, it'd be fantastic if you could tell me. Here's the one and only pub of the village, the Royal Oak, on Turnshaw Road. Obviously still closed because of COVID. But there it is. It's not the building I took in the last shot. That's actually a house. This is the Royal Oak. Now this is another abandoned building. Well, this one's got scaffolding around it, and this is on Turnshaw Road. Again, I would love to know what this is. I'm not an urban explorer, but certainly people out there do enjoy things like this, so yeah, it's a very majestic building, I must say. Why it's fallen into disrepair, I don't know. There is actually some writing on top of it, but I can't read it. I can't get in close enough to read it. I think it says John and Rebecca. That's interesting. Now it's worth mentioning, if you carry on down Turnshaw Road, you eventually come into Aston. On the left, towards, I think it's on the left, towards Aston, there is a woodland burial ground. I'm not sure which parish that falls into, whether it falls into Ulley or whether it falls into Aston. We're not going to go and see it in this video. I will endeavour though, when I do Aston, to have a look and see what that's all about. Ulley even has a red phone box. You don't see many of these around these days, although as you can see on the inside, there's no phone. I won't be calling many people from this thing, but it's still good to see one. Right, I've just walked down from the main village, from the church, and in the distance there you can see two wind turbines. They are part of Penny Hill Wind Farm, and guess what? Penny Hill Wind Farm is part of the Ulley Parish, so let's go and have a look at them. So here we are at Penny Hill Wind Farm. There are 6 turbines here, so it's not massive as wind farms go. I've seen much bigger, and we will see much bigger. These things though, they're in the perfect place on top of this hill. I'm going to put a link in the description to the company that owns these, so you can read a bit more about them. Let's try and get a bit closer to them. I actually think they're magnificent structures. I know some people don't like them. Some people think they're dangerous, but I think they're quite majestic. So let's have a little drive to see if we can get closer to one. Okay, I think this is about as close as I'm going to get to any of them. This one is literally just a couple hundred yards away from the road. I never realised until just now, they do make a very faint noise. It might not be picking, the GoPro audio might not be picking it up, but they do make a very faint noise. At the top of Reservoir Road, I would imagine over there is Trinity. Alright, so we've come down the hill into the valley below Ulley village, and in the valley you find Ulley Country Park with Ulley Reservoir. Now, this is a rather large, well, fairly large reservoir. We're not going to walk around all of it, we'll just give you a taste of it. Here's the bridge that runs over the top of it. Now, rather helpfully, there's an information board so you can see how big it is. I believe half of the reservoir nowadays is a nature reserve conservation area. In fact, it even says conservation area here and here. And the other half is used for fishing and for sailing. It's quite peaceful today. There is the most narrowest of narrow paths on either side of this bridge as you cross the reservoir. I've literally got, as you can see, this much room. This is a bench on top of the dam. These beautifully carved owls on one end, and on the other, squirrels. There you go. There's a nice shot of the reservoir, Penny Hill Wind Farm in the background, and a little tiny bit of the village, all in one. And that will just about do us for Ulley. Lovely little place. Reservoir, wind farm, tiny little village, quaint little buildings. Fantastic part of Rotherham. So if anyone has any more information on anything that you've seen in today's video, especially those two abandoned houses we saw earlier, anything more on the reservoir or even on Penny Hill, that would be greatly appreciated for part 2. Until next time, I have been the Village Idiot, and I am out.